me to do this broadcast and see, well, learn. It's a learning experience apparently every time. But I'm going to turn on this light here. Okay. So, all right. Praise Yah, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Sister Cece. This is Cece on Air, and the show is called Be Well Wednesday because what? Today is Wednesday, and we want you to be well. Of course, we want you to be well every day of the week. And the only way to be well is, of course, deciding that you want to live for the Most High Yah and putting Him first in your life and repenting and going forward. Okay. So that's what we're doing today. We are being well. Thank you all for joining me on YouTube Live. I'm on YouTube Live on two places, on PQLR1 Radio as well as CC on Air. And I still have people messaging me, but again, thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you would like to call in, you can do that because I have a nice little number written down here. It's 704-879-1511. 704-879-1511. And you can also email us at pqlr1radio@gmail.com. Of course, you got to put the number one in there, not ONE. So PQLR, the number one radio@gmail.com. You can also reach us on all forms of social media, PQLR1 Radio. And of course, that's Instagram, Facebook. We're not on TikTok like that. I'm on TikTok, but the radio's not on TikTok. I think we're on X as well. So reach out to us. You can text us at that phone number too that I gave you. So again, 704-879-1511. Now, I don't mind interaction. So if y'all on here and I can answer the phone, or if I know what I'm doing or I figure it out, hey, praise y'all. We will figure it out together. Technology is a wonderful thing until it's not. But today it's a wonderful thing. Praise y'all. We are here. So now, today we are talking about skin. Okay. Now, the topic is called What's Itching You? What's itching you? Now, I probably should have had something where, let me see, maybe I can pull it up. Okay, so the people on one platform, you won't be able to see any pictures or anything. So maybe I won't. Yeah, maybe I won't pull it up. I'll just keep talking. So the topic is what's itching you. So what's itching you is talking about just every little skin ailment that we deal with. And, when you go to the doctor, they just kind of shrug it off as an allergy or, oh, you're allergic to this, or, just something small. They give you a cream and they send you on your way with this cream. And the steroid cream is usually some sort of I'm sorry. The cream is usually a steroid cream that maybe clears you up or whatever, but it's actually a steroid and it's also a toxin. So it is actually poisoning you. And we don't really consider poisoning as we should. Every time you take some sort of pharmakeia medication, you may not see the effects immediately, but gradually it is taking down your immune system. So imagine you're a baby, which a lot of babies I have seen, even my own, when they're born, a short while after, they end up developing certain ailments in their skin. Now, um, it could be like an eczema or a dermatitis or a cradle cap, and these things are seen as normal. I remember cradle cap, they would tell you just get a bunch of baby oil and rub it around the baby's head and rinse it off. And usually that would work because it looks like it's just some dry flakiness or whatever. Sometimes it would be a little bit more intense, like it would be red and maybe a little bleeding. But yeah, that cradle cap was some serious business. And like I said, they actually attribute that to some sort of normalcy, which it's really not normal. Because what we're going to learn today is these are problems with your gut and problems with your lymphatic system, right? Yes. And I can't stand when people say right. So let me not say that because that's crazy. Um, but it's a problem with your gut or your lymphatic system. So these things, the gut and the lymphatic system are very critical in your overall health. They pretty much pronounce how you're going to be, your being. So we need to make sure that we're being mindful of these things, our gut health. So what I did was I listed I listed some well, I just Googled, and some people say Google is not the best information. Look, this is the age we are in. We Google. Okay. So we go maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper. That's fine. But we definitely Google because that's, the surface of getting information sometimes. But back to what I was saying, I Googled um the most common skin conditions, and I'm gonna look again, but it says acne, contact dermatitis, benign tumors, cancers, atopic dermatitis or eczema, and psoriasis. And then I added dandruff, boils, and rashes in general. So, people can get these things, but we don't really quite, or I'll say, we haven't quite understood them. Anytime there is something that is erupting on your skin, your body is sending you a message that something is not right. Something's wrong. And it's coming from your gut. What is your gut? Let's see. Let's get a definition of the gut here. So I can, what is the gut? What is the gut? Okay. So it's the excuse me, I gotta take my glasses off. I can only see far away with them on. Um, the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so that is the gut. What is the gut in the human body? The portions of the alimentary canal, particularly the stomach and the intestines. So we can sum it up to your stomach and your intestines. Okay. And sometimes it includes your anus, your behind, especially in animals that eliminate waste through the anus, which is us, in contrast to other animals that excrete waste through the mouth or by other means. And that brings us to the pig. He excretes things by other means because he sweats and he is filthy, and that's why we should not eat it, which is a whole nother portion of the topic of what we're talking about today. What's itching you? So if you're just now joining us, this is Sister Cece. This is Be Well Wednesday. You're listening to PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. So, yes, so that is the gut. Okay. And now let's talk about the lymphatic system. Okay. I want to pull up pictures, but I won't be able to do it for both platforms. So we will be fair and just talk about it. Lymphatic system. Okay. So let's say, what is the lymphatic system? Okay, lymphatic system is a circulatory system made up of vessels, lymph vessels, which are much like blood vessels. It is a uh, drains extra fluid called lymph that has passed. Hold on, I gotta click on this thing. Let's see. Let's go back. Except, okay. The lymphatic system is a circulatory system made up of lymph vessels, which are much like blood vessels. It drains extra fluid called lymph that has passed out of the blood and into the tissues and returns back to the blood. The lymphatic system also includes tissue and organs that make, store, and release lympho- lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell. These tissues and organs, called lymphatic or lymphoid tissue, also monitor the lymph for germs, foreign substances, and abnormal cells, and remove waste products and bacteria from the system. So the lymphatic system, it is what moves the trash out. It moves the trash out. And if you have a stagnant lymphatic system, it's because your gut is not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we have to remember that we need a healthy gut and we need a healthy lymphatic system. If we don't have a healthy gut and a healthy lymphatic system, that's when we start seeing strange things popping up on our skin and other health issues. But today, we're talking about the skin. So back to the baby situation. With little babies, you would think, "Oh, okay, they're perfect. They're born into the world, they're brand new. They haven't been exposed to anything. So they shouldn't have anything wrong with them. Like, they should be born, their skin should be perfect, they should be like a newborn baby." But that's not true. As we talked about before, the babies, they come out, they might be okay for a minute, but then soon you notice, like, their cheeks getting all this rash on it, and, sometimes they get all these little bumps. I think they call it tinea, something like that. You can look it up, Tinniea or something like that. I think that's it. Um but little baby eczema all over their face. They might have rashes in other places. Um, I've seen the cradle cap and bumps on the forehead, and then it cycles into just having very scaly skin. Now, if you as an adult have had eczema and you know about that thick, scaly skin, it's quite painful. Because it's like your skin is not pliable at all. It's just like solid. It's like cement. And then if that skin has to move at all, it starts cracking. So once it starts cracking, then you have little sores all in your skin. So imagine a little baby, they can't just reach up and grab or scratch or go grab some ointment and put it on there. And you wonder, why your baby's crying and all this. Well, if they have skin issues, I mean, it's a constant pain, a constant itch. So, like I said, most people they just go to the doctor. The doctor gives them some sort of steroid cream, and it may clear them up for a minute, or it may make it worse. But what it also does is it makes the baby or the skin, I'll say, because this is for everybody, dependent upon that cream. So you kind of become addicted to it, and it stops working. I know this from experience. I don't need to look up anything because um, I remember when I first started developing contact dermatitis or eczema. Now, again, it's about gut health, but also we have to talk about environmental. I was a hairdresser and we didn't have any sort of understanding about the chemicals that we were involved in. And my hands would be so broken out with eczema and rashes, and my fingers would be cracked. I mean, at that time, I was using, like, Vaseline and Eucerin. Many people still use Eucerin as if it's something to be used, and it's just not. Eucerin is not good for you. Um, but I used to slap that stuff on my hands, and I would even wear gloves, and you take a special trip to the dermatologist because that's the skin doctor, and you think that they're gonna tell you, something that's gonna cure you, but, I mean, they do not have cures for you because if they had cures for you, you would never need to come back and they'd be out of business. So, I dealt with it, and then I remember it was all over my neck, and I literally would come home every day, and I had to take a shower, and I would, like, cry in the shower because my skin was so cracked and so bleeding, and just the water hitting my skin was like acid. It was like somebody was pouring acid on me. It was terrible, and I didn't really attribute it to being poisoned, but that's essentially what was happening. I was being poisoned. Because you're around sodium hydroxide, you're around ammonium thioglycolate, you're around all these other chemicals. Now, I remember those 2 specifically because those were the hair relaxers that we used. But, you and even the people receiving the relaxers, of course, they say don't put it on the scalp. Yeah, right. Everybody had relaxer on their scalp. That's why it burns. But you would be exposed to the fumes of that. You would be exposed to the chemical itself. Because think about washing the person's hair, you're touching them. And so just I was exposed, chemically exposed. And then there was no ventilation in the place. So I was definitely exposed. So I then developed contact dermatitis or atopic dermatitis, eczema, whatever you wanna call it. I developed a skin problem. So, I just live like that. I just, would get the cream or the Vaseline, slather it on at the end of the day, and just call it a day. I didn't know anything about gut health. I didn't know anything about removing myself from the poison. I didn't know anything like that. And back then, as a young person, I'm not sure I would have listened if somebody told me I was poisoning myself, because I wanted to be a hairdresser, and sometimes, you can't tell young people nothing. They're gonna do what they do, and I was one of them, gonna do what I do. So it took for me being removed from that because I moved. I literally moved out of state, and I would have to get relicensed again, and so I was not into that. So when I moved to another state, I was able to take up other occupation. So in that, I realized that my skin was healing. Like, I had no more problems. All of that problem I had, that constant itching, I'm telling you, my whole hand was just full of, like, blackness. You would think that my hand was a different person's hand because it was so black. And all of the little cuts, I had them under my nail bed and just all over my neck. All of that was it cleared up, and I couldn't believe it. And I hadn't even done anything. I just removed myself from the environment, and that's when I became aware, like, wow, that was a real toxic environment. I mean, I probably should have had a lawsuit. As a matter of fact, I thought I did, but I didn't understand how that stuff worked back then. But now, me being CC today, fast forward 30 years later, I'm like, man, I probably wouldn't have to ever work again, but it's okay, to Yah be the glory. He knows what he's doing. Um, but yeah, so I said that to say environmentally, we are exposed to things. Okay. So environmentally, we're exposed to things. And when I say environmentally, too, I'm talking about our houses, like what we live in, the building materials that we're not really building, well, some people are building houses, but just these homes that we're in, whether it be a home that you built yourself or a home that you are renting or you're buying, just the building materials that are used to make homes today, are very, very toxic. I mean, just like when you get a new pair of no, I was like, just like when you get a new car, they say you like that new car smell. It's not even a leather smell, it's a new car smell because it's a bunch of plastics, but you've associated that with getting something new. Well, same thing, like when I move into a home or something, I smell this smell of paint and carpet, and it's like, "Oh, that screams newness." No, that screams poison. So the smell that I'm so excited and enamored over is plastic and formaldehyde and other chemicals that are seeping into my skin and leaching into my nervous system. And I'm breathing them in, and I'm touching the carpet with my bare feet, and the paint on the walls, just all the toxic smells. Just we are like surrounded by toxicity, and these things destroy our gut health, and they destroy the motion of our lymphatic system, and how everything should be working as a whole, as a system. And so that's why we have to be prayerful, because y'all knew we'd be in these situations. Now there are some things that you can do to circumvent some of the things that are going on. Now I'm no architect or home builder, but we can definitely look for ways to do things differently. So, let's see. There are more sustainable, um, ways to build a house. I had been looking into this for a while, and, let me see if I can find it now. I don't know. Let's see. There is a company in North Carolina called Deltec, and, I mean, I found them. And let me see if they say what they do. Why round Deltec? I want to see if they say why Deltec. Let's see. Why round? Why our homes? How it works? Learn more. Let's see. Well, I'm fascinated because they're round homes, but let's see our homes. Green. Oh, okay, here we go. Green building. Let's see what it says. Okay, green building. Deltec, you can look this up on your own, Deltec. Deltec is changing the way the world builds. After all, humans have the knowledge and the technology to build homes that are so much better than what we are used to. We know that homes must be resilient to withstand the storms. They must be healthy to live in and build from processes that sustain our natural systems rather than degrading them. They must be extremely energy efficient and build thoughtfully with the ability to power their own needs. They must be comfortable, connect you with your surroundings, and they must be beautiful. A home that performs at a higher level is a green home. So they have all the information on here why they consider their homes green homes. Let's see here. I know it says designed for natural comfort, use the ancient natural comfort principles of passive solar heating and passive cooling to reduce resilience on your home's comfort system and live harmoniously with your local climate. Resilient. Yeah, but I'm looking for like building materials. Let's see here. Department of Energy. Pair it with the fresh. Okay. It says super insulated and airtight. Our homes are an average of 3 to 5 times more airtight than typical new construction. Paired with our super insulated wall and truss options and with fresh air ventilation, this results in a dramatically more comfortable, efficient, and healthy way to build. So that's not all what I'm looking for. And maybe they want you to do your own homework concerning the inside, which I don't think is true. I think they probably hold your hand through the whole situation. But what they're talking about concerning the airflow, that is important. And they do list down at the bottom energy ready home, EPA indoor air plus. It's a fortified home, leads for home, Energy Star, green built homes. Let's see. Okay, energy ready, sustainable manufacturing. Don't build a green home, build a green way. But that's just environment. Okay. No, well, we already read that. Okay. Renewable electricity. Okay, it says panelized building methods can greatly reduce construction waste. Well, they're talking about waste. I want to talk about breathing and not having toxic stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay, they have a sustainability report, which a bunch of stuff that I probably don't want to read. Okay. Science. Okay. Okay. Well, they say green. Green might be a buzzword for them. I mean, I'm sure they do above and beyond what the other folks do. But again, you can look it up, deltechhomes.com, and see if it's something that you're interested in. And the sustainability report is there. Their vision is to change the way the world builds. Excellence, wait, why am I not saying right? Ingenuity. Okay. Ingenuity, listening, family simplicity, and stewardship. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. They're not really talking about the green I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay. Global carbon emissions. See, I'm not talking about that. Okay. Deltec offers fresh air ventilation systems as a part of our kit and expert guidance to homeowners on healthy home practices. Okay, there you go. As part of our free consulting services on page 22. Let's go to page 20. And it's a nice internet little book that you can flip through. So let me go to page 20. Wait, where is page 22? There is no page 22. It goes to 19. So I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Um anyway, so let's close this chapter. We're just talking about um healthier environments inside the home. Um, what you can do is go for a house with hardwood floor. That's natural. Carpet is not natural. I'm sure they have better carpet options than others, but carpets contain formaldehyde. And we know formaldehyde causes cancer. It's an endocrine disruptor. which means your systems are not working properly if you are constantly breathing these things in. But we did talk about formaldehyde before. I believe it was the last show. Let's see. Dangers of formaldehyde. All right. So formaldehyde is a known carcinogen that can cause a range of health effects, including eyes and nose irritations, skin and lung irritations, which is what we're talking about today, respiratory issues. Higher levels of exposure can cause coughing, wheezing, and sense of pressure in the head, and it can cause serious injury. Some people are more sensitive to formaldehyde than others, and some may not react to all the same level exposures. So, formaldehyde can be found in many household products, including building materials, which is what we just talked about, pressed wood, which is particle board, which is what everything is made of, especially if you love shopping at places like IKEA and Big Lots. That's what they have is pressed wood, plywood, and medium density fiberboard. Insulation has formaldehyde, and household products like nail polish and permanent pressed fabrics, unvented fuel burning appliances like gas stoves and kerosene space heaters. Okay, so the formaldehyde, of course, is bad. It says long term exposure to low levels of formaldehyde may cause respiratory difficulty, eczema, and sensitization. So it can cause eczema. Again, your environment. If you're around these things, it will most likely cause you some inflammation, some skin problems, and you may not notice them right away. You may have a crazy onset. I mean, it just really, you can't really tell what's going to happen unless you already know that you're sensitive to these things. So, environment is one thing. Now, another, uh, back to the babies. So imagine bringing your baby home and then your baby's like inflamed. And you're like, well, it's a baby. Like, how's the baby getting sick? Well, if you're giving the baby formula, I mean, if you were giving your baby formula, you're starting out with the wrong thing. And I realize that everybody cannot breastfeed for whatever reason. But there are definitely some options outside of just using formula because formula is full of metals, it's full of contaminants, it's full of just trash. And since we're speaking about that, because again, the formulas are going to cause skin ailments and disruptions or problems inside the body. Let me see. Dangers of yeah, I'm just doing simple Google searches, and you can, of course, go deeper if you like. Okay. Look at this. Sad. I shouldn't be laughing. Formula feeding is linked to higher rates of eczema, allergies to food, inherited allergies, and allergies which affect breathing, such as hay fever. Babies who are fed formula are 40 to 50% more likely to have asthma or wheezing. Wow. Made me wheeze a little bit thinking about it. So many popular baby foods and formulas contain an alarming high level of hazardous heavy metals such as arsenic, cadmium, and lead. Now, if you look all the we know arsenic is used to kill rats. Everybody knows that. But these others, you definitely should be looking them up. Cadmium, what is that? Lead, we've all heard of lead-based paint. Like if you're in a home that was built before 1970 something, it needs to be tested for lead-based paint because they think the children are going to peel it off and eat it or something like that. But lead, it said arsenic, cadmium, and lead. That is what is in a great majority of baby food and baby formula. Okay. So if you are having a baby and you thinking that you just gonna ship the baby off to somebody else to feed them a bottle of formula, you should think twice about that. Not to mention, this the plastic of the bottle and all of that. We know plastics are harmful as well. That's also causing inflammation to the gut. So when we have the inflammation to the gut, then your body just is kind of triggered and you have a situation going on. It's like a little firestorm. And imagine again being a baby, like you don't have the ability to get up and go scratch and put some slather some stuff on. You don't have that. All you can do is cry. So um, let's see here. Oh, and then even in the baby, formula can, it says that, plastic chemical, the BPA that everybody sees on the bottle now, BPA free, leaches from, the metal can lining into the formula. So that plastic is going into the baby formula itself. So what is it that you're feeding your baby? Like, if you're using formula, what are you feeding them? I don't think that it's very nutritious if it's a bunch of toxic stuff going into the baby. It's not really a good idea. And there are plenty of papers written, scholarly articles telling you that this baby formula is bad. So why they continue to promote it is absolutely ridiculous. And it says formula feeding doubles the risk of SIDS. Wow, that's a whole nother topic, Sid. So, well, on here we like to talk about parasites. So that's another thing. We talk about the babies. So the baby comes out, they look okay at first, maybe. And then after a little while, you start noticing the eruptions on the baby or whatever. And let's say you do breastfeed the baby. Well, the baby has actually, you know how they say things are genetically passed down and passed on? Well, parasites are passed on. That when they say genetically, a lot of times it's like a parasite thing, but they don't really acknowledge parasites in the medical world, but they'll tell you that something was genetic and it was in your DNA and all of this, like diabetes and high blood pressure. They'll tell you those things are genetic, which they're not. You are genetically learned to eat like that, have a poor lifestyle. You learned that. That was genetically learned, I guess, but it's not because of anything in your blood system. But as far as like the parasites, yes, they are passed from mother to baby. Again, there's scientific information there, well, proven information there that says that that happens. So if you have intolerance to certain things and you break out and all these different things happen to you, it definitely can pass on to your baby, right? Right. So I said I want to say right, but yeah, it passes on to your baby. So the baby in turn is taking your trash on and their body has to learn to fight these things off. But it's kind of hard to do that when they're starting off by not having a head start because breast is best. Even if you're having these issues with your system, breast milk is going to be the best thing for the baby because formula is I don't e- I don't know what to call that. That's not food. Just like pork is not food. Formula is not food for babies. They should not be having that. I mean, there are other alternatives to formula. Um, I haven't done that precise study yet to where I'm ready to say anything about what you should feed your baby, but I know that, some people talk about sea moss. I don't believe in sea moss and I don't believe in mushrooms, so I'm not gonna tell you that. But there's something with coconut water. There are other things that can be done. Um, as far as like if you, for whatever reason, cannot feed your baby. I'm also an advocate of getting a lactation nurse or having a doula that is able to teach you or help you get that milk production going. So you would need to find out what herbs can help you with that milk because there are definitely herbs like fenugreek. Fenugreek is one of those herbs that are just a go-to when it comes to milk production. So let's read a little bit about fenugreek. Actually, I got my book here. Some of you have seen this book on the TikTok shop. I'm not selling it, but I did buy it. Okay. So it's called The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, The Healing Power of Plant Medicine by Nicole Aplian. I think that's how you say her name. PhD, and Claude Davis. Okay, so this lady, Nicole, she's got like this story of how she couldn't walk. I don't know if the story is true or not. I don't know. But she did make this book and it's got all this different information here concerning herbs. Now, I like the book, however, a lot of people promote mushrooms and sea moss. I don't advocate mushrooms and sea moss. And if you do, that's fine. But for me in my house, we will not consume them. So let's see if I can find Greek in her book. Greek. She might be calling it by its other name. So don't worry. I've got more books here just because her book doesn't have it. Let's see. F. Hmm. Fennel. Greek. 27. Let's see. Oh, let me show you this book too. I'll try to always show you the books that I'm reading from in case you want to get them. And for those that are listening by radio, this one is Herbal Medicine: The Natural Way to Get Well and Stay Well by Diane Denson Buckman. And you spell Diane or Deanne, Dian. Her last name is Dincin. Last name Buchman. She's a PhD. All right, so we've got Greek. Let's look it up. Greek 27. Now I'm learning right along with y'all a lot of times. I'm not pretending to be an expert, but I am somebody who wants to know. Because when you have something going on or somebody in your family or somebody is not feeling well, you want to be able to offer suggestion. And how can you offer suggestion if you're not studying up on these things or even if things are not happening to you? Because when they're happening to you, you definitely have a testimony of how you healed and overcame. So this says page 27, but I don't see it on page. Okay, here it goes. Okay, because comfrey can heal the digestive tract. Okay, so comfrey can heal the digestive tract. It is also often combined with pepsin or fenugreek. So that's the other name for fenugreek is pepsin. Okay. So, again, you learn something new every day. Let's see. All these things have different names. Uh, okay, let's go to nursing, it says. Nursing. Now, if you're a mother and you have eczema and all of that, you definitely need to constantly be working on healing your gut. Now, first and foremost, we advocate for a whole foods, plant-based, no junk, no trash diet, which means all greens, all vegetables, all fruits, no white things like white rice, no trash. You're not trying to be the slutty vegan and all that stuff. Being a vegan is not a trend. You actually want to change your lifestyle because you want better health. So we advocate for that, especially if you're nursing, because your baby deserves to get the best that they can from you, and you are their first teacher. And what are you teaching them if you're not giving them good nutrients from the breast? Because you're teaching without words then. So it's like, okay, I'm teaching you that I can eat whatever I want and it's going to transfer to you. So, oh well, live with it. That's not very nice to your baby. Okay, let's see here. Okay, breastfeeding. Let's see. Cranberry juice. Okay. Okay, dill, bowel movements. This book is not really CC friendly, I'm telling you. I mean, I look at the book all the time, but they want me to really scour to find the words that I'm looking for. Let's see. Nursing, nursing, nursing. Let's go to page 90. Nursing. Okay. 90. It's coming. These some old pages. Goodness. All right. Flaxseed, fig. Okay. Replace compress. Okay. Okay. They're talking about gas, constipation, Very interesting. Like, this book tells you that the stuff is on the page, and it's clearly not on the page. Let me see. They're saying, let's try 194. 194. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's okay. Um, okay. Okay. So for someone that is nursing, it says borage to increase milk production. Prepare a borage leaf tea. In addition, add a capsule or two of borage seed oil. Available in the health food stores. Okay. Caraway. Brew some seeds of caraway and steep in a pint of boiled water. Strain out the seeds and drink freely. In addition to increasing milk flow, caraway also eases wineness in mother and child. Okay. If caraway oil is available, dilute the olive oil and eat either on a piece of bread or in the old fashioned village way on a cube of sugar. This book is old. I don't know what they're talking about a cube of sugar, but you can take the borage and the caraway. Dill, it says add the leaves and or the seeds of dill to the daily diet of the nursing mother to increase milk flow. Mild dill seed tea is also appropriate for a flatulent baby. That's a gassy baby. To make tea, bruise a teaspoon of the seeds and steep in half a cup of boiling water. Strain out seeds. Fennel. Greek mothers often prepare a strong tea of fennel seeds to encourage an adequate flow of milk in the nursing mother. In addition to helping with flatulence and uh, breathing, fennel seeds is cleansing and detoxifying. Fennel is cleansing and detoxifying. It kind of gives you like a minty feeling in your stomach. You know, if you've eaten something and your stomach feels a little bad, fennel is definitely a good thing to take. So here we go with fenugreek, like I was talking about initially, that led us here. To encourage an adequate flow of breast milk, many European mothers follow the old tradition of drinking unstrained fenugreek tea. Rosemary is one of nature's cure-all herbs in areas where herbal traditions are still strong. Many women drink rosemary tea to encourage abundance in milk. The health use of rosemary as well as its delightful aroma are passed on through the mother to the child. Okay. Vervain. Women have used vervain or verbena officinalis for centuries to help them sleep and be less nervous. Vervain is often used during labor to foster contractions. The tea stimulates milk flow. Watercress. The biting, tangy taste of watercress leaves is used by Turkish peasants to increase the flow of scanty milk. Woodruff. Infuse a handful of woodruff in wine for several days. Use up to 2 tablespoons of this liquid 3 times a day before meals to increase milk flow. So they also have something to decrease the milk flow, which is amazing because I've never heard of anybody having too much milk flow. But praise y'all if you have that. But so that's what you can do. Like if you're having an issue with feeding your baby, rather than going to formula, which it seems like people are really not supported in breastfeeding. They don't understand it's not a quick thing. It is a process. Um, without saying too much, but not saying only a little. It is a process because your baby's mouth has to be formed to your breast properly. It's your baby's job to do that. And as he or she is drinking, that breast is forming to fit him or them. You might have twins, but it's work. And in that, skin peels off. You get sore and bruised because it's really like the baby is doing a little surgery on you. Like he is creating his proper environment for eating. So it's painful, and sometimes people give up because they don't understand that that's just the way it is. Shout out to those who have endured that pain because it doesn't last forever. But all that to say, if you are having milk production problems, there is help for you. And if you don't know, you can get herbs online. You can buy herbs online. It's not hard. There's a lot of Israelite men and women that do sell herbs. There are herbs at Whole Foods. There's herbs at your local store. Um, there's herbs. You can get herbs. So if you're having trouble like that, just know that there's help. And you can even reach out to us if you need help. We'll help you. Again, 704-879-1511. Yeah, so your baby deserves the best that you can give to them. So get that milk going. And also you're going to heal your gut. So let's continue talking about that. So we talked about environmental issues. So now we're on to food. Let's go to food. So let's see here. This book is from the library. It's called Diet for a Poisoned Planet: How to Choose Safe Foods for You and Your Family, the 21st Century Edition by David Steinman. And it says, a message we need to hear, an important work. Francis Moore. Francis Moore. Oh, somebody's calling. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What is that like? Uh, yes, you're on the air. Hmm. Well, that's a good question. Thanks for calling in. I would say yes, because we know that in the garden, initially, there wasn't gonna be any pain. Um, they were gonna live footloose and fancy free, but because of the fall, Yah pronounced all these things down. He said that in childbirth, the woman would have pain. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Um, Breastfeeding is part of that childbirth, experience. And not only that, I mean, it goes on for what, 2 some people breastfeed their child for 5 years, but it goes on for a long time. But like I said, after a while, well, you know what? I said it doesn't hurt anymore. That's not true because it does still hurt for a while. I guess it's not as bad, but it can. I'll say it can still hurt. Um, but yes, I would say it absolutely is a part of the curse. If we had not sinned, then I'm sure we would not be feeling this kind of pain and going through all these different things. So that's definitely a good question. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Love you too. Bye. All right. If you didn't know, that was my husband. All right. Okay. So somebody made a YouTube comment. Oh, where? Oh, okay. Uh Oh, was that you, maybe? Okay. Clifford Charles. I don't know who that is, but welcome everybody if you're listening. You're listening to PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first, and we thank you so much for joining us. We're not sidetracked. I mean, I have all these books all around me, everybody, and I just love this topic because it's one that I've had to deal with. But what we're gonna do next is now again, let me see. Oh my gosh. You guys on the other YouTube channel are not gonna be able to hear it, so I suggest that you get the playback. Go to PQLR1 Radio, okay? Because I'm gonna play a video, um, if I can remember what it is. Oh goodness. Let's see here. Uh, yes, I can. I'm gonna play a video, and, the Bible says we have to learn like a child, and so I have found a little series. Um, Maybe I haven't found a little series. What happened to it? Let's see. Mm, yeah, I found a little series for children that I thought was kind of cute because it explains different ailments that people go through. Hold on, let me get out of this for a second, you all. Just one second. Let's see. Um, may not be playing it for you. Let's see. No, because if I play it, I'm gonna have to go out of that. Let me see. I had it up, but now I don't. Let's see. Let me see. Uh, you know how sometimes you think you're gonna remember. It's like, oh, I'll remember that. Oh, here it is. I did remember. They just chose not to show me what it is on YouTube. Let's see. Make me think I'm crazy. All right. Well, okay. Okay. Why is this like this? Let me go out of here. Let me see if I can look it up. YouTube. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Um, let's see. YouTube. Eh, well, everyone, you may not be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it. You all on this YouTube will not be able to hear it. Like I said, listen to the playback. I'm acting like it's some monumental thing. It's really not. It's a cartoon. It's a little cartoon that I thought was cute. I'm always looking for teaching material. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. Little Doc, eczema for kids. Here we go. Okay, there we go. This little doc is something I came across a couple weeks ago. But yes, it is a cute little cartoon and they talk about many different things. Um, but if you oh, wait, the video didn't come through? Wow, did the video not play? Hmm. Well, guess what? Everybody's gonna hear it now because I'm gonna play it again, but I'm just gonna play it through my phone. Um, yeah. Okay. I'm sitting here just looking at it. I'm thinking y'all hearing it. You can't hear it. Okay. So everybody's gonna hear it now. Little dot lizard. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Eczema. Thank y'all for being so patient. But here we go. Just ask little dog. Just ask little dog. What's eczema? Ask little dog. Hello. You were wondering about eczema? My friend Giko and I will tell you all about it. Giko? Oh, there you are, Giko. There, you see? Giko is showing you what eczema is. It's a disease where red patches that are a little bit rough break out on your skin. Do you want to know how and why? We'll explain it to you. Our skin is like a barrier. It stops intruders from entering our body. Intruders that could cause problems for our body. When you look at it really close up, our skin looks like this. It's a little like a brick wall, only our skin is flexible and contains water. When you have eczema, the bricks aren't stuck together very well, so the skin lets out the water more easily than normal skin. It becomes dry, so dry that it can crack. And that makes it a lot easier for some intruders, like products that irritate or cause allergic reactions, to get in. The skin of people with eczema reacts really strongly to these intruders. That reaction is called an inflammation. The inflammation and the dry skin are what cause those red patches. The big problem is that it's super itchy too. But whatever you do, try not to scratch it. There's no cure for eczema, but there are different creams you can use to make the skin less dry and soothe the inflammation. It makes the itchiness stop. You also have to wash every day with warm water and a very mild, unscented soap. There you go. Now you know a little bit more about eczema. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Okay, now y'all heard it. Okay. Wasn't that cute? I thought it was cute. I didn't mind listening to it twice. But yeah. So, like I said, I'm always looking for educational material. Like, people learn differently. Some people still learn by cartoons. I like cartoons, good cartoons, not trashy cartoons. But yeah, so nothing wrong with that. The Bible says we should be like a child when we're learning. Um, that's basically saying be humble. Like, you need to be humble. You don't know everything. I know I don't. Anyway, so they talked about a few things. But I was gonna talk about food. So it's like so many things we could talk about. Environment, we talked about the stuff in your house, the building materials that they put your house together. We know plastics are dangerous, microplastics. We're exposed to so many different plastics. These things destroy our gut health. They make our lymphatic system move slow, which means that we are not able to really get things out of our body like we should. Another thing that is a problem concerning our system, the digestive system and the gut and all of that, if we're not using the bathroom on a regular basis, you're storing up trash in your body. And so it's coming out in your skin as well. So, environmentally, if you're taking in all these toxins and they're not able to flush out of your body properly, then it's showing up on your skin. That's just it. And again, we're just exposed to so many different things from the chemtrails in the sky, the air pollution, because they have factories and they're building this, they're building that. There's so many cars on the road. Whatever they're doing outside, whatever they're doing, we're exposed to a lot of different things outside. Inside, we're exposed to the radiation from many things, your television, the internet, whatever, just all these different environmental toxins make you sick inside and you get flare ups. Your skin flares up. Okay. So we're looking to get, you know, good news about what to do, not just, oh my goodness, the bad news is here, it's happening. No, what can we do about these things so you can eliminate some of these problems? So let's go into food, like I said. Then after food, I think we'll go into like soaps and detergents because your doctor said buy Dove. Like, I don't know how many times I heard that people's doctor told them to buy Dove. Dove is trash. Irish Spring is trash. All those different things at the store in those little boxes that smell wonderful to you are trash. Okay. So this book here that we already talked about that I'm reading. Okay. So it's talking about prepared foods, which, you know, are not good. We talked about a whole foods plant-based diet. So if you're not eating a whole foods plant-based diet, um, you know, your body's really suffering. Some people delegate for this carnivorous diet, meaning they just eat meat, and some people are eating raw meat. I think that is nuts. It just shows that we are going a different way, just like the Bible says. Not we, because I pray I'm not going that way. But just, you know, people's minds are just, you know, they're somewhere else. They're given over to a reprobate mind in many different ways, and they are giving excuses for what the world is doing, and they are still trying to join these different weird things that are going on instead of saying, "Wait, no, I need to do something different because I need to contribute goodness to my health, not something else." But this is chapter 10, and it says prepare food. So let's see what it says. I haven't even read this chapter. I just kind of looked at it a little bit. It says a huge part of our diet is made up of prepared foods. These food products are as saturated with pesticides as the whole foods we've already discussed, and many of them are laced with preservatives, taste enhancers, emulsifiers, and other additives as well. Did you know that some of the highest levels of carcinogenic pesticides, such as BHC and lindane, in any foods are found in milk chocolate? Or that some of the highest levels of carcinogenic pesticide dilidrin are found in pumpkin pie. The irony is that the Americans really do prefer wholesome natural foods without additives and preservatives. Surveys conducted regularly by the Food Marketing Institute indicate most Americans are extremely concerned over the additives and preservatives in their food. But the majority but the major convenience food corporations simply are not responding to consumers. Just take a look at Saturday morning television. You know this is old. On any weekend morning, such or much of the advertising aimed at our children is hawking breakfast foods of dubious nutritional value, loaded with artificial colors, preservatives, additives, and saturated fats. Even the TV network guidelines designed to protect our children backfires. The CBS television network advertising guidelines require that advertised products be shown for at least 3 seconds within the context of a well balanced breakfast. So, what is a well balanced breakfast to them? So, for a few seconds, a child sees a nutritionally suspect cereal in a table setting with milk, orange juice, toast, and fruit. The idea here is to teach our children something about a balanced nutritional breakfast. But what are the cereal hucksters really teaching our children? No doubt, children get the idea that it is the cereal that provides the bulk of the nutrition. Dr. Michael Jacobson, executive director of the Cancer Center for Science in the Public Interest, discussed this situation in a recent letter mailed to the CSPI members. So, this doctor made a letter because he's just like appalled at what's going on. But it goes on talking about different processed foods that I'm sorry, processed things that people eat, that is not good for you. So I see it's talking about just convenience foods as a whole. Let's see. It's talking about obese children become obese because the adults are obese. Additives cause allergic and hyperactive reactions in small but significant number of children, yet the junk food makers load their products with synthetic chemicals. Let's see, convenience foods. Okay. They kind of did a traffic light, model as far as, like, what to eat. It's telling you what to eat that's green light, then what to eat that's yellow light, and then the red light foods. Yeah, so that's interesting how they did that, but of course, they're talking about all the different processed foods and desserts and sweet snacks and, gelatins and like, gelatin desserts contain BHA, BHT, and TBHQ, which are preservatives, which are known to be carcinogenic. Imma get that word right today, carcinogenic. But yeah, I mean, this is a really good book because it might be old because it's talking about what book it's talking about Saturday morning cartoons. These children get cartoons all day, every day. Ain't no more Saturday morning. Let's see. Yeah, this book was 1990 and 2007, which I mean, it's still relevant because you can look at it and see that, there's nothing new under the sun. People still eating this junk. They love it and they're not going to stop. But it talks about hydrogenated oils. Again, these things are destroying your gut health. And when you're destroying your gut health, your body's gonna react and you'll get skin flare-ups of any kind. Potato chips. Potato chips had 202 pesticide residues representing some 31 pesticide formulations or uh metabolic meadow metabolities. Okay. If you are packing potato chips with your child's school lunch, stop. Pesticides and industrial chemicals detected most frequently were carcinogenic and neurotoxins such as chlorprofam, DDE, didlerin, ooh, endosulfan, ethylbenzene, stryene, toluene, and xylene. In addition, potato chips are often preserved with BHA or BHT. Just 10 chips have 1.8 grams of saturated fat, no cholesterol. The high salt content of potato chips, corn chips, and many other snacks and condiments will be of concern to those watching their sodium intake. Now, that's one thing that we have to recognize too. There is, just the white salt, the girl with the umbrella, that we've grown up seeing, the girl with the umbrella. But that's not good salt. That's not the salt that you should consume at all. You should be having Himalayan salt, pink salt. Um, but everything in moderation. And you have to know what's right for your body. So that salt is bad. Himalayan salt is good. It's a good mineral for your body. But it's also talking about vegetable oils and sunflower oils. Let's see, corn oils. All these are not good oils. They're terrible oils. And I know that the best oil is going to be coconut oil. Olive oil is okay, but I think coconut oil is the best oil that you can consume. So again, this book is very interesting because it kind of goes through just different things. It'd be nice to see if it's been updated. I don't even know where I got this book from, but I love to get book. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. This is not my book. It's a library book. That's where I got it from the library. But yeah, it's good to get these books and just kind of look at and see what they're saying. Um, yeah, to see what they're saying. So that's food. We want to make sure that we are consuming a whole foods, plant-based diet because one, we are healing our bodies. Healing our bodies entails so many things. And again, the telltale signs that your body needs some healing is the breakouts that you're going to have. The eczema, the acne, um, the dermatitis, the psoriasis, the dandruff. Uh, dandruff. I mean, my goodness, like people don't realize that there's actually parasites on your scalp. Like nobody talks about these things. There's parasites. There's bugs that live in your head. Yes. So sometimes they super duper wreak havoc, and there's hair loss, and there's just all kind of scalp conditions. Um, so our goal is to eat a healthy diet, learn what we need to do differently so that we can fight these things off, okay? Because there's an overload of parasites in your body, and your job is to eat to live. That's why they say eat to live, because your goal is to kill off those things that are in abundance that are not meaning you any good. We talked about parasites, like, in-depthly, so I won't really get into that. So you can also, of course, go on the YouTube channel, PQLR1 Radio, and look at all the other programming that was there, or all the other, broadcasts, not programming, all the other broadcasts that were there. So back to eczema and skin conditions and that sort of thing. Like I said, boils. People don't realize that boils, do you think you just, "Oh, I'm getting older, I get boils." I heard some lady on, TikTok or whatever, she's, like, being sassy and crazy talking about dating over 50, and that's one of the things she said, "Don't you know I got these boils and I don't feel like," I mean, I can't remember verbatim what she was saying, but if she looked at boils the way that boils really are, she would not be talking all, flippantly about her boils, because boils are a staph infection. So you've got staph living inside your body, and you are contagious. So that's another thing. Like, your body is fighting off some kind of disease, or it wants to fight off a disease, but if you're continuously trashing your body with these things that are not food, your body doesn't have a chance. But we've got to heal our gut so that our skin can be healed. The skin is the largest organ in the body. So it touches everything, it absorbs everything. Think about those little tiny pores that you have all over your body. That's your skin's absorption system. So it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. I mean, so many things I could talk about in that alone, but you wanna make sure that you are healing your gut, that's the thing. Um, let's go back to the foods a little bit. So, there are probiotics and there are prebiotics that you should be taking, and you can take them naturally, or you can get them in the form of a pill, or herbs. I mean, there are different herbs that provide that. But I know that fermented foods, some people say you shouldn't take that, but there's people saying you shouldn't take this and you shouldn't do. You got to see what's going to be right for you. Okay. So prebiotics and probiotics, they heal your gut. The probiotics that I like to take particularly, would be kimchi. I like kimchi. Um, I don't mind sauerkraut. Um, some people do kefir. I think that there's a vegan kefir. I don't know. I haven't had it. Some people would say yogurt. Yeah, I believe in yogurt, but it needs to be a animal free yogurt. I don't I don't do milk. So, but yeah, there are certain things that you can eat to heal your gut. And the main thing is to get off the meat and the sugar and the processed foods. The meat, the dairy, the sugar, the processed foods, just all animal products. That's how you're going to heal your gut. Another way you're going to heal your gut, of course, is fasting. Fasting is very important. I mean, that's why Yah provided the information to us concerning fasting. It's giving your body a rest. And it's also killing off things inside of you that are eating whatever you're putting in there. So, as your body is not having to work as hard because you're not eating, then it can rest, it can heal, it can prepare itself for the new thing. Um, and people call lots of things a fast, but a fast means not eating at all. That's what a fast is, not drinking at all. It's like nothing. Now, if you're just only eating grapefruits, that's a grapefruit diet. That's a specialized way of eating. That's not a fast. So, they talk about the Daniel fast. That's not a fast. That's a diet. That's a specialized way of eating. Fasting is when you are not eating and drinking anything. And I challenge you to do it. Enough of us, we say we want to do it or we're going to do it, and we don't do it. Um, Even me. So we need to get back into that so we can get our bodies back into synchronicity, so it can be what it's supposed to be, so we can feel better. Because a lot of us are. out here feeling sluggish and tired, and like me, I drink some green tea and I'm like zinging, I'm like, "Wow, this is great." Why? Because it's caffeine. But you shouldn't need that, but the things environmentally are overwhelming us. They're overwhelming our body, so we gotta do things to rid ourselves of these toxic things. We gotta take better care of ourselves. We gotta get sleep. We gotta eat the proper foods, um, to get to where we need to be. Will we be perfect? No, because this is an imperfect world. Another thing that honestly I do recommend that you find a functional medicine doctor or a holistic doctor and get a blood panel ran so you can find out exactly where you're deficient. Because wherever you're deficient, that's where you'll see like these skin problems are coming from. It's like, okay, if you're low in vitamin whatever, then then it'll show up on a panel. I wouldn't say that that's gonna happen at your regular doctor because they're not really interested again, they're not interested in you getting better because then they can't make money off that cream that they need to give you and your health insurance. So I would say, if you need to get a blood panel ran, then yes, find a holistic doctor. Do they take insurance? Most times not. But that's just something that you kinda have to deal with. You can, ask them if they have a payment plan, a sliding scale plan, or care, credit, or whatever. I mean, again, I'm talking about myself as well. These are things that we need to consider because as times get rough and we see what's going on around here, just all the toxicity, we've got to gear ourselves up to just take better care of our health. And your skin is your friend. Your skin is your best indicator of what the heck is going on. Do you have dark circles around your eyes? Or what's happening to you? You can look at yourself and you can pretty much see what's happening to you. So yeah, got to take care of ourselves. Back to eczema. So, another thing that people need to be mindful of is the soaps. Let's talk about the soap. A lot of people say their doctor told them to use Dove. They say it all the time. My doctor told me to use Dove. Well, what is in Dove? What is in Dove? Let's see if I can find what chemicals. I bet you I can't read them. In Dove. Let's see what. Let's see. Now, it's not just Dove, it's all those soaps that you see at the store, Zest, Dove, uh, all that stuff. Yeah, okay, so let's see here. Some say the Dove products contain chemicals that may be harmful, including formaldehyde. We talked about formaldehyde, a known human carcinogen, respiratory toxicant, skin irritant, and environmental toxin. Dove Beauty Bar contains formaldehyde. Now, why would you put something that causes skin problems on your skin? That makes no sense. Okay. Then it has limonene. That sounds like lemon because it's a fragrance. Okay. Limonene. Oxidized limonene can cause allergic contact dermatitis. Again, my goodness, they're putting these things in the soap and you're trying to heal. You can't. Not using this soap. Um, Contact dermatitis and a sensitizer. Limonene is often used as a fragrance component and penetration enhancer. It's a penetration enhancer because they're going to get that chemical in your skin. It's a penetration enhancer. How about that? Mm-mm-mm. It's got parabens, that's a toxin, preservatives that increase the shelf life of hair care products by preventing bacteria growth. The same thing they put in your food. They have to put preservatives in the food so that it can have a long shelf life. They don't have to, but that's what they do. Tricoslan, trico, tricosan, an antimicrobial chemical that disrupts the thyroid and reproductive hormone and irritates the skin. And okay, cyclopentasiloxane, cyclopentasiloxane. I don't know what that is, but it's a silicone-based cyclic compound that may be associated with environmental toxicity. We talked about that, environmental toxicity. Dove has removed the synthetic ingredients, the liliol, also known as butophenol, methylpropanol, or BMHCA, from all of its formulas before it was banned for use in cosmetics. So they had to be banned. These people just giving you toxic stuff, they had to be banned. So I see an article here where it says rethinking our ingredients. So they have an article here saying that they have phased out certain ingredients. When was this written? Okay. Guess what? They can phase out some of the ingredients and they can also hmm, they can also I was just reading something. They can also change the names. They can also do something where they only put in a certain percentage so then it doesn't have to be named, okay? So don't let that fool you. Um, and it says that they took out coal tar. I don't know why they took out coal tar because yeah, why did they do that? I don't know. But yeah, these things that they say that they took out, I just don't trust them. It says it's paraben free, phthalates free. I just don't trust Dove, okay? Um, yeah, so like I said, it's not just Dove, it's all those soaps. Now, what are the alternatives? The alternatives are you look at some soaps and you analyze and recognize what the ingredients are. We use Castile soap. Now, Castile soap, you can definitely like water it down. It's liquid. You can water it down and you can make it as mild as you need to make it. Um, we also, well, we use a tar soap. That tar soap is very good when you have skin issues. So that's why I'm like, why did they remove coal tar? Let me look into what they're talking about. But because that soap's good. Let's see what else can you use. Again, you got to read the ingredients. Now, my disturbing thing with all soaps is like I know that there are people that make soaps, and I when I looked into it, they all use like a sodium hydroxide, and sodium hydroxide is actually in relaxers. So I'm just concerned with that. Like, why is there the same chemical in relaxers that is in soap? That is troubling to me because, like I said, I remember breaking out from that, it making me itch and all of that. So yeah, that's concerning. But okay, so let's move on. Dove, and all these other soaps. Please read the back. Read the back of the box. See what it says. And just that fragrance alone, that fragrance is very, very toxic. It's not good for you. That's not a natural smell. That's something created. That's a Frankenstein smell, and it's toxic for you. So again, we're healing your gut, healing, healing what you're breathing, so that your skin can be what it's supposed to be. So we also have the laundry detergent. Same thing. All those laundry detergents that you see in the store, they have toxic chemicals in them. Um, Tide, Gain, just all of them, all of those things. Just read the back and smell them. And then you've got those beads. What are those scent beads that come in the container that you use to make your laundry smell better? I'll couple it with the Glade plugins. Those are toxic for you. That's emitting all sort of cancer-causing, um, smells. Like, just it's just toxic. All those things are very toxic for you. They're not good. You should not be breathing them in. Um, let's see here. And what else? Like, they have, uh, laundry detergents that are, like, for babies. But still, you've got to read the back. You've gotta find out what these ingredients are. Um, Now back to what we use, I will still use Castile soap. I will use Castile soap to wash our clothes. Or you can use a washing soda, like Arm& and Hammer makes a washing soda, very mild. Now, if you're extra super ultra sensitive, you can use peroxide or you can use vinegar. I know vinegar is a big one because it actually acts as a anti-static. So when you put your stuff in the dryer, you won't have any static. You don't have to use dryer sheets, which are toxic as well. They have a lot of bad chemicals. All these things that make all these smells, you could walk past somebody's house and you could smell this waft of laundry happening, and you might have a nostalgic feeling, but just know that it's poison. These are things that we should not be breathing in. These are things that should not be laying on top of our skin. Your skin is giving you that response, letting you know about it most times, or internally you're having a response because these things are toxic. But like I said, washing soda is good by Arm& and Hammer. We also use borax, the 40 mule team. We use that. And we use Castile soap. You can dilute that down, or you can even make your own. You can make your own everything. You can make it's on YouTube. You can make your own stuff. You can cater to what your family needs. But if you need to buy it, I'm telling you, you can use that Arm& and Hammer. Perfumes kind of goes along with that Glade plug-in stuff. All these smells, they are very carcinogenic. They are very endocrine disrupting. Your endocrine system is very, very important. If you're not taking care of your body, then you're not going to have a good outcome later on. It's all going to come back on you. Um, Traditional colognes and perfumes that are in the mall and all of that, they're not good for you. You got to switch over to maybe some essential oils. If you don't have a good smell that comes from your body, so you're always spraying it down, you definitely want to change your diet. Because again, putting these things on your skin, not a good idea. Let's see, we dealt with environment, we dealt with the food, we dealt with laundry detergent, we dealt with same with lotions. I didn't say lotions, but the same with lotions. Um, you also could have skin conditions because of the mold and fungus in your home. We talked about the carpet and the flooring and the IKEA furniture, but you can also have mold and fungus in your home. Now, it's kind of hard to say, especially if you're renting. Like, all you know is what the people tell you, and half times out of 9 times out of 10, they're not telling you anything. You're just moving into a place and you don't know anything. But then once everything settles or the dust settles, you start smelling things, or you might see mold growing on the window because it's too damp. There's not enough airflow. There could be mold behind the walls because when they bought the place, nobody did a proper inspection. I don't know how they inspect mold behind the walls. I suspect they know how, but just these things happen, and you should have a humidifier, or what is it called? Vaporizer, uh, air purifier, that's what it is. You should have an air purifier. And then there's even something that you could do. You can put a pot on the stove with some water and some vinegar, and you can purify your air that way as well. But if you are in a moldy environment, you gotta try to get out of that because it is a killer, literally. The mold is setting up in your body, and it's causing all kinds of problems, and your system cannot function well when you have fungus growing in your body. And that's another reason why I don't understand, the consuming of mushrooms, because it is a fungus. So you definitely want to clean up your environment. From I learned from two people that did a mold analysis in our house. They said that mold can actually live on your rug. And I was like, really? Ooh, that sounds crazy. Um, and I know that what I plan on doing is, instead of using Carpet Fresh and all that other stuff, because you should not be using any of these things. I mean, I know we've grown to love smell good stuff, but you should not be using those things, even in your car. Take the little pine tree down, or whatever thing you take that stuff down. It is not good for you. It's terrible. But anyway, um, there is something that you can shake down, or you can do to your carpet to make it a little bit more, better, environmentally for you. Me personally, I'm going to use some diatomaceous earth, and I'm gonna shake some down, and I'm gonna vacuum it up, and, just clean your windows. Let's see, what else can you do? Make sure you're running the fans in your house. You wanna remediate the mold as much as you can, and you don't wanna create a mold problem. But again, when you have small children, you have to be careful because all these toxins that are going on, you want to make sure your house is virtually toxin free. You know, as much as you can do it, you want to make sure your house is toxin free. I'm telling you, it's so much we have to deal with. And so if we're mindful of these things, we can do better. And of course, we've got to pray because Yah is definitely gracious. He's merciful. He's able to do exceedingly and abundantly all that we can ask or think. So we got to trust in him. So I think that's pretty much all. I kind of went through my whole list. Yeah, I even got to the staff. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to the staff. 'Cause, we kind of went all over. Let me see. So, Sicker, Fatter, Poorer. This is another book. I think they want their book back from the library. Sicker, Fatter, Poorer. Let's see. It's talking about how pesticides attack the brain. Just all kind of stuff in here. Like you all, if you don't feel like going to the library, you need to download some apps like Libby. Libby is an app that you can download for free. There's a bunch of free apps, and I think if I remember, I'll put them in the YouTube so you all will see that you can download these apps for free and get yourself some books and get to reading. This is another book here, Exposed. Can you see that? Exposed. And this is the toxic chemistry of everyday products and what's at stake for American power. So, that's what we're talking about, the toxic stuff in all these products. Toxic. Why is it toxic? Read. Then this is we read this book before, I believe. Yeah, we did, because my bookmark is in here. More Than Genes. We read this book too. More Than Genes. And this is by Dan Agen. Yeah, these people want their book back. I've had this book for a long time. They want it back. But yeah, I like having these books because it does give you information on just what we're going through today, honestly. You know, um, and it's important that we, in some form or fashion, get some books going. If you don't feel like reading, get you an audiobook. You know, if you don't feel like doing that, you could at least get a brief synopsis on YouTube, concerning what a book is about. But I don't believe the saying that people say, black people don't read. I don't even want to repeat that nonsense. Black people don't read. That just sounds crazy because we do read. We read what we're interested in. We read what is going to affect us. We read what matters to us. And to go further into it, we we acclimate toward however it is that we learn. Some people don't learn best by sitting down and just picking up a book. Some people learn best by watching a YouTube. So I don't know. We got to kind of get out of what we have kept repeating. Basically, we just keep repeating this stuff. Black people don't read. Yes, black people do read. I'm black and I read. Okay. So, and I'm the last person to really sit down and really examine books like I need to, but um, yeah, we just have to do better, and stop speaking those nonsense words over our people. I'll just say our people. Here's another book, The China Study. It's a good book. This guy's still alive. He's very old, but The China Study is Dr. T. Colin Campbell, PhD. He's a natural guy. You can find him on YouTube, and actually, I think he teaches a naturopathic school. Um, but yeah, this is a really good book, The China Study. I got it a while ago. So I think we're done here. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. Actually, no, wait a minute. I had another book. I had marked this. Let's see. Yeah, it's about food. Let's see here real quick what I marked. I marked food. Okay. Okay, it says the whole truth about ulcers, animal foods, alcohol, and drugs. Here at the beginning of the 21st century, doctors finally have a more accurate idea about what causes ulcer disease and how to treat it effectively. Currently, focus is on three areas: acid production, medication, NSAIDs, nonsteroidal anti inflammatory drugs, and bacteria, or H. pylori. From Louise's history, I knew that these were indeed the three primary factors contributing to the development of her stomach ulcer and acid production from the food she ate, long-term use of anti-inflammatory drugs for arthritis, pain, and bacterial activity that thrives in the presence of insects. So basically, he's talking about this lady. She had an ailment like her ulcer, stomach, and all that was messed up. But then the doctors just kept prescribing, pain medications for her, and so it just kind of destroyed her gut. This is a book we own. It's by John A. McDougall, MD. Dr. McDougall. You might see his soups in the store, Dr. McDougall. Um, yeah, so that and let's see, I had another thing marked in here. Where is it? It is, oh, it was about the gut. I need to read this. Let's see. Okay, it says, who needs healthy gut bacteria? Healthy microflora is necessary for overall health, period. Anyone who wants to be healthy should encourage the growth of healthy microflora by eating the right foods and avoiding antibiotics, which kill both good and bad bacteria whenever possible. This means a breast milk diet for infants and a healthful plant based diet like Dr. McDougall's diet for children and adults. Newborns delivered by cesarean section and bottle fed babies may benefit from probiotics specifically designed for infant use. Probiotics may also be warranted after a course of prescribed antibiotics in order to help reestablish a healthy gut flora. Probiotic supplements, in addition, may prove beneficial if you have changed your diet and still suffer from problems such as irregular bowel movements, indigestion, elevated cholesterol, or arthritis. With no undesirable side effects and minimal cost, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose by trying probiotic supplements. For Larry, oh, well, Larry and Louise, that was, somebody that he did a study on. But then there's a summary sheet talking about the gut microflora is the name that we give to the vital living factory of bacteria living within our colons. The microflora com- complete digestion of foods, protect us against pathogens, synthesize vitamins, reduce cholesterol, balance hormones, and stimulate our immune system. Breastfeeding encourages the growth of friendly bacteria known as Bifidobacterium, Bifidobacterium. Friendly bacteria prefer dining on plant food remnants, and pathogens prefer eating meat and other junk food. So the bad bacteria, they like the junk. So that's what you're feeding when you eat the stuff. Dietary fiber and other smaller undigestible sugars, all form, okay, all from plants provide the bulk of the food for our bowel bacteria. Probiotics add bacteria to the bowel in order to rebalance the intestines and thereby improve a person's health. Specific species of bacteria must be used in order to target specific health concerns. Prebiotics are simple sugar foods sold as pills and liquids that stimulate the growth and or activity of friendly bacteria already present in our intestines. A healthful diet provides excellent food for the microflora, so no additional prebiotics are required. Dairy foods, yogurt, and acidophilus are unhealthful sources of probiotics. He's talking about the milk yogurt. Probiotics are beneficial for people still suffering with problems such as irregular bowel movements, indigestion, elevated cholesterol, or arthritis, even after healthful change in diet. So again, that's Dr. McDougall. That's good information right there. But I also want to talk about the grape cure. We talked about it before. There's a book called The Grape Cure. If you're needing to do something else, you need to change how you've been living, go ahead and try the grape cure because you're not going to stop eating grapes. You're going to just eat grapes for as long as you can. I did it for a month. And I tell you, I felt a whole lot better by doing the grape cure. So you might want to try it. But anyway, we are on slate to be at 9 o'clock here. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Sister Cece. Of course, this is PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. And this is Be Well Wednesday. I'm going to try to be before you every other Wednesday because it'll give me a little bit of time to do research versus every Wednesday. But if I can do it every Wednesday, I will. But every other Wednesday is what I'm going for. But we thank you again. You can call or text at 704-879-1511. You can email us at pqlr1radio at gmail.com. You can message us here in the what is this? YouTube. We're on 2 different platforms right now. You can message us here. You can also send a pigeon. No, you can also go on the other forms of social media and reach out to us. If there is a topic that you want to talk about, let me know. If you want to come and talk about something, let me know. If you got some music, let me know. Hey, we can maybe get you on. If you got some poetry, you got a testimony unto Yah, what He's done for you in your life and how He saved your soul, we wanna hear it, like, we wanna upload that, we wanna get it on the radio. Don't think that you're not special, because you are very special, and we want to hear that. We want to hear you make a joyful noise. Don't think just because people are over here and doing this, and they've been doing it for years that, you diminish yourself. No, we are happy to hear what it is that you have to bring forth. So, again, you can email us, pqlr1radio@gmail.com. I am Sister Cece. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a terrific, fantastic, wonderful rest of the week. And we hope to see you again soon, Yah willing. Do I need to read Philippians 4:8? Hmm, we'll read Philippians 4:8. We're going to end it with a scripture. Let's see. Let's make sure it's KJV. They always catch me up with that. Okay, so it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. So, uh, hey, you got a praise report because you woke up this morning. I pray you wake up tomorrow as well. But Philippians 4:8 is a definite testament of what Yah has done in our lives. So we thank you so much. Join us again next time. And this has been Cece for PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. Listen to us on your Android app. Just download PQLR1 Radio. All right. You have Apple, you just got to go to the link. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.